They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry! With 0.6 of a second remaining.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the Outlet Pass Podcast, episode 29. I'm your resident JT McConnell. The homie. More importantly, my real name, Justin DiVirgilio. Sitting alongside me to my left is my co-host, Dante Parentozzi. How you feeling tonight, Dante?
What's good, Just? How's it going?
It's going well. A little frustrated. Technical difficulties have kept up this recording, but it's all good. Episode 29, right?
Episode
I said
29.
that right. Before we get into anything, I just want to plug everything. You can follow the Outlet Pass Podcast on Twitter at @pass_podcast. On Instagram, the Outlet Pass Podcast. YouTube, you can search Justin DiVirgilio for it on YouTube. And Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, all the Outlet Pass podcasts. Like, subscribe, rate 5 stars, the whole 9 yards. I'll do it again at the end of the show anyway. But, would you like to get into basketball, or you'd like to say something else?
I got something else.
All right.
That might have been your longest. I can't even do it. Homie. That was by far your longest one, and he's not even here anymore.
Yeah, I have to make sure he hears me all the way on the left coast, all the way in Phoenix. But, yeah, I just was feeling it.
Shout out to Jet. Every week when he listens to the podcast on Friday, he texts the group chat, me and him and Tommy, and says, the homie. That's how he tells you that he listened to it.
Yeah.
So thank you for Jet.
Appreciate
29 episodes in. Listen to all of them.
29 episodes in. And, of course, after the last recording with our official Raptors correspondent and referee evaluator, Matt LaRoche, Kawhi Leonard, the next evening, well, technically next Saturday morning, so it was like 2 days after or something. We recorded on Thursday night. He signs with the Los Angeles Clippers. And it came with a kicker, a pretty big kicker, in Paul George being traded for a boatload of picks.
Yep.
How did you react to the news?
So I got up in the middle of the night, as I normally do, sadly, and my buddy who lives out in L.A. texted me and saying, wow, Kawhi to Clippers. And then his following was PG2. And I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that they could also figure out how to get Paul George out of there. That was wild to me. Obviously, they became the clear favorite. Makes sense. I'm not going to argue that. They're right now the superior team in LA.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how you would say it. The Lakers have the biggest, since it is LA, these are going to be clear, easy, like annoying, unbearable puns, but the box office draw is more LeBron and AD than Kawhi and Paul George. Although those two are the probably 1 and 2 when it comes to two-way players in the NBA today, if I may say. There's a couple other people that could fight with Paul George. I think Kawhi's one. He locked that down. Some other people you could say fight with Paul George, but that's not the main point. It's just that they have them now. And this trade is great because now it balances the playing field more. Because if he went to the Lakers, that it would be a wrap. It would be another, just like the Warriors, except way worse. I think it would have been way worse, except everybody likes LeBron now and wants him to get a bunch of guys. But it's weird. Of course, it's weird and bad that KD went to a team that he lost to. But it still keeps the super team era alive. Now it doesn't. Now there's a bunch of guys in the league, bunch of great twos.
I love the duos. I think the duos is fair. I mean, you need at least a second guy. Obviously, there's been tons of guys over the years have done it. So for the short term, hopefully, super teams are over. Kuzma being the third best player on the Lakers kind of bodes well for a lot of people. So you're right by your saying duos. I am by no means a Kuzma guy, so I'll never say that again that he's that good. F Kuzma now. For the people that know, they know. I'm done. I ain't going to make all those comments, but he's riding with Ben's girl now.
That's fine.
You think that's fine?
I don't care. They're athletes. They're in their 20s.
You're right.
They're going to date around.
But Ben was at the same spot as them. Kuz, you know where Ben's going to be at, or you think you don't? Kendall did.
I don't know if...
She plays.
She might have.
She plays.
I think if I think they both know where each other frequent.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they got my boy Ben slipping.
Don't
Can't be
try and
having
wrap
it.
me in the NBA reality.
Yeah,
drama,
you're right.
that's what
You're
the
right.
league, the league is like that.
The league's got that.
It has its no. I mean, it is like it's treated like a reality TV show.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of
Woj
stuff.
news happens on Twitter. People fight people care about the pettiness on social media between even players.
Speaking of social media, did this drive you in bonkers when you saw it that KD said he was going to the Nets? They didn't even have a meeting by that point. He said he was going to the Nets. He made that decision.
Didn't drive me bonkers.
Why? What was your thoughts? Tell me what you went through when you saw that.
I saw it and I had one thought and I said, that was very KD of him. He does everything on social media. He, for the most part, all his big moments like that, especially the last couple of years, we have an episode called it. He's the burner account OG.
Yeah.
Even though that's Brian Colangelo. It's a different thing. But
you think Rich Kleiman was behind that decision, or you think that's KD behind the helm?
I think he probably was just like, I don't feel like waiting for it to get leaked by Woj. I want to say it. So he probably told his agent, and the agent was like, whatever.
But he didn't even have a meeting yet with
the Nets.
The Nets. He just said, I'm going to the Nets. That's wild. Hey, GM, I'm coming to your team.
Yes.
Imagine if he ended up doing that to the Knicks, because at that moment, the Knicks were a little scared. They didn't even put an offer out, right? What was the thing?
They didn't offer a max contract at all for Kevin Durant.
So what you have to think there is the Knicks could have been in the same exact boat. So he had a preference. It had nothing to do about a meeting who wowed more. He must have a feeling of why.
So you were saying that Brooklyn is popping because the Knicks have a terrible owner and haven't been relevant forever. I don't want to talk about the Knicks. I really don't. I don't think they're relevant.
I don't
to
either.
talk about.
Except shout out to RJ. He has good summer league so far.
They overreacted with him too. That's all I gotta say.
You don't like RJ?
No, they overreacted when he went 7 for 33 in one game
Oh
in the summer league.
Yeah.
Whatever. Damn, because we were talking about KD and Kawhi. They didn't go together, which we obviously know that because KD went to the Nets, but that was a possibility throughout the season.
I didn't think it would happen. I think it's...
I wanted it to happen.
Yeah? You wanted to have game over immediately.
I just wanted to see it as a fan.
Really?
Kinda. I wasn't even thinking about my own team's mortality.
But, they're superstars, and yes, people liked them, but they don't have that, that face like the LeBron does. Come on, let's be real. Steph Curry, LeBron have the face of the NBA. Giannis is that face right now. KD ain't a dude that's nice with the media.
They don't allow themselves to be as marketable. I don't know. They can be marketable. You don't have to be anything. Kawhi Leonard, nobody knew what he was doing. He had the league by the balls. He had every basketball person, fan, worker.
Helicopter fucking flyer.
I hated that.
That was wild. Let the man do his thing, yo.
Yes. Exactly. Leave him alone. He's gonna tell you what basketball team he signs with.
I didn't realize he was being he was making moves.
Low key, yeah.
He was out here. Who was his first bite? He wanted
KD.
And he also did who else?
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
And Kyrie.
Kyrie, I heard. I don't know about that. Why would I want to pair up with Kyrie?
We all heard.
Yeah, Celtics. That's what I said.
But the contract, because he got his contract.
Beautiful contract.
3 years.
Beautiful.
103.
Player option, baby.
With a player option in the third year.
Yeah.
He don't care.
Uncle Dennis is killing it.
And a lot of talk has happened with it's now the player empowerment era. Have you seen that bouncing around?
What's up with that?
Just everybody being able to say that they don't want to be in a team, or they want to be somewhere else, and it's happening.
Oh,
other times.
How you're allowed to be a vocal.
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
And dictate where you go. You're allowed to strong arm the team, as opposed to how it probably used to be.
It's a gigantic wow factor to me. I understand that this is the NBA. This is now, we live in a world that's so different than it was 10 years ago, even in some of it 5. But if you look at the NFL, these dudes make by no means those type of contracts, and they don't have as much of a say. The owners still got a lot of those player by the balls. There's only been a few rare exceptions.
Yeah.
AB did it. Lev Bell did it.
Yeah.
Melvin's trying to do it now.
Yep.
But it really doesn't happen that often.
Okay.
But the NBA is making that, AD, that whole scenario, that sickened me.
Oh, you don't.
I didn't like the AD thing.
Well, I think the Lakers did more to hurt that situation than the
That's fair.
Pelicans.
Yeah, that's fair. But who was the GM? The GM got fired because he was he had too much pride, and it was a good trade. And it was a good trade.
Yeah, they gave him they got a better trade only because they found out what picks they got. Like they got the first pick and then they got the fourth pick. That's why I think that's why it was a better trade.
But who was the GM that denied it? That didn't want to deal with them during the season? Because at that point, it wasn't David Griffin at the helm.
Dell Dumps? No. Dell Demps. Might be.
Is that who it was? Well, he flopped and he obviously got fired because you could have made. I mean, they ended up doing great. You know, their team's pretty much rebuilt. They will not make the playoffs.
Who? Oh, why are you on the Pelicans? Yeah, you brought up all that stuff to bring up a bigger point with the player empowerment.
True, but I got to say this thing about the Pelicans first.
Okay.
Because I got to bring up the fact that Jet has no chance of winning that bet. He bet me that Zion, rookie boy Zion, is going to get 40 points this year in a game. I don't think that's happening.
Anthony Simons did it last year, and he was a rookie. He never played for Portland.
Yeah, to the very end of the season when the game didn't matter.
He's nice, though.
He's doing well in Summer League.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Zion looking thick, by the way. But in terms of player empowerment, I'm sorry. Got to get back. Sometimes it goes like that.
I know. That's the whole point of the conversation.
I don't have a problem with Russell Westbrook saying, I want to get out of there, because he wants to still be competitive.
He's also put in enough time for you to not really
12 years, right?
Back. Yeah.
And the Thunder...
He wanted to stay.
They Thunder showed their cards and said, hey, we're looking to retool this bitch.
I think... Well, Paul George told them, you guys are going to have to retool because I don't want to be here anymore.
So now...
They got pressure put on them. And Sam Presti made a good deal. A really good deal.
Yeah.
You got 7 first-round picks.
Yeah.
And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and one of 2 only Italian players in the league, and Danilo Gallinari.
You know, Presti does pretty good. But...
Great GM.
Yeah, I mean...
That's why he's been our only GM.
Wow. That's facts. But Russell Westbrook, I mean, not a lot of people can play with him. I mean, it's been proven that he hasn't won. What's he? 1-time MVP, 2-time triple-double season guy, and but that doesn't really translate to playoff victories. Sorry. So he might go to the Heat and be with Jimmy Butler. I ain't gonna talk no hate against Jimmy Butler. But they'll be a 6 seed at best.
Okay, I can see that. And just the trades for Russ. So it's weird because he does a lot of things, a lot of things on the court. But it's weird, he doesn't fit, and in some way, I feel like for most of the teams in the league, he's not worth trying to fit him on your team.
Costs too much money.
Even it costs too much money.
But from a player perspective,
skill set. So the teams that would go after him now, they're gonna make room for him because they can, or they're gonna try and make it work. Detroit. I think Detroit's probably one of the best options, even though him and Blake Griffin are the highest usage rate players in the league. 2 of them.
Yeah, that's fact.
They're super ball dominant. So it's you're going to have to learn how to make that work. And I get, my first thought as a novice coach, armchair coach I'm going to be, is that you place them in pick and roll together a lot. And then, or you have Drummond in the pick and roll and one of them creeping on the baseline or something. Or the wing. You could put them in different places.
That would be a competitive team.
It wouldn't. No, they were last year. When Blake Griffin really turned it up. And they barely made the playoffs. Which cool is they got some good players. I think that
the Knicks are also looking at him in Miami, right? Those are the 3?
Knicks, Miami. I heard Minnesota not looking at him, but it's a possibility.
Oh.
They're not doing it right now. They
got a bunch of guys that can't deliver. And I like Cat. But
I think Russ and Cat would be kind of different. They would definitely give up Wiggins because it's time.
Yeah.
I think the reason I think Bill Simmons was talking about it, the T-Wolves idea, and then I saw a stat on Twitter Andrew Wiggins is averaging 30-something in the Chesapeake Energy Arena. That's where the Thunder play. Remember 2 years ago he had the game-winning 35.
Yeah, that was far. Yeah, I remember that.
So people were oh, he could play there now. He won't average 30 or whatever, but that's something to hang your hat on. You have a scorer. And if you're gonna, if they retool, they're still not gonna. If they keep the team as is, they probably won't make the playoffs.
The Thunder.
Yeah, they'll be very close to make it, but they
won't make it.
The teams.
A lot of teams.
The West is stacked.
It's
stacked, but so you have. No, we're not gonna go through the Western Conference. the Thunder teams. So T-Wolves will be cool. I think so. And they need somebody else now, They lost
I thought they were going to get D'Angelo Russell, but the Warriors.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I didn't see that coming, but Minnesota could have got their guard.
I think it only is 3 teams though.
That's
in the
really
Russell Westbrook sweepstakes. And you like the Heat, him and Jimmy Butler?
Do I like it, or is it more like I understand it?
Well, if you understand it, that's definitely not you. You would have to grow more fond to it. If you were a Miami Heat fan.
Oh, I mean they love it.
An actual Miami Heat fan.
There's action. Russell Westbrook brings action no matter what.
But okay, so your expectation for that team, I don't think it can be championship.
Oh, of course not.
But I think
neither of those players can be your best player on your team. And win a championship.
I think a lot of the Heat fans, they're not that loyal, from what I understand. They seem kind of fickle. It's Miami. It's nice out all the time. There's a lot more things to do than go see the Heat play.
Right.
So they'll think championship because they follow them on Instagram and Twitter, and they know they're famous, and they're making a lot of money, and they know all this other stuff that comes with not basketball. Well, not directly basketball. But you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and then obviously they'll listen to ESPN. What's ESPN going to do? Miami has Russell Westbrook and Jimmy Butler on the same team.
But they ain't going to juice them up. They're by no means.
They'll juice them up.
They're by no means LA.
They'll juice them up because one of their most reliable guys works in Miami. He's from Miami. Dan Le Batard. You think they won't have him talk about the Heat, or he'll talk about the Heat more often?
Sure. But I don't
think they'll pipe him up.
Yeah, I don't think about enough to.
Plus, Russ is in the Eastern Conference now. He plays KD more often.
He ain't that good. Okay, that's a good story. From a storyline perspective, sure. But
no, he's not. I think they're a 6 seed at best as well.
All right.
Just the dynamic of that team, because I saw that they might try and get Tyler Hero and Justice Winslow as well, and James Johnson, and then a pick or whatever.
Where's Tyler Hero at right now?
The Heat.
He
just got drafted.
Yeah.
So they would have to give up.
Oh, to go to the Thunder, you're saying? I think you're about to. I'm about to say, yeah, he's on the Heat. What are you talking about? Going to the Heat
for Russell Westbrook.
He's going to be a talented player.
Pat Riley's going to try.
And who else did you say? Tyler.
Justice Winslow.
I
think they would throw in James Johnson. They would throw in a couple players.
Okay. But you got to keep
Bam.
Bam.
Match salaries.
Because Russell needs to play with an athletic big like that.
Yeah.
That'll be good for him. Yeah.
They both
pick and roll.
Very pick and roll heavy guys.
Yeah.
Someone's going to have to decide to catch and shoot. At times. One of them's going to have to do it.
Is Wayne Ellington still there or no?
No, he's on the Knicks.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So
the Knicks just got a bunch of B- players. It's okay.
No, it's fine.
B- gets you through, right, Lou? All day. I hear you.
Russell Westbrook doesn't get traded this summer, though.
Really? You feel that way?
I think he'll get traded within the season.
Wouldn't you want to do Russell Westbrook a solid? As a guy that's been there for 12 years.
Well, he asked for the trade now.
But he asked for it. Do him a fucking solid.
I get it.
You get it. He's not there on his rookie contract.
Do you guys a solid by wanting the Supermax and being one of the only players in the league with the Supermax.
You're an MVP. You want an MVP. You deserve the Supermax.
The Supermax, the Supermax. Everyone that has an MVP right now doesn't have the Supermax like he does.
But they all have flexibility, so it don't matter to them.
That's the point.
Russell Westbrook didn't get the flexibility. He wanted to get his chicken.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame him. Because OKC isn't a big market, so he doesn't get all the branding. Yes, he gets a good amount still. But the idea of being out in San Fran, being out in LA, New York, there's more of a market than Oklahoma City. You know what I'm saying?
It's a college town.
Yeah.
The Sooners are more popular than them. I get you.
You know, that's why he wants to make his bread. If in a perfect world,
he made his bread, and now he wants to go because now you're the least best player from all the players that they had still on the team, and it sounds disrespectful. I'm not trying to be. You're just not better than those guys.
Yeah.
To me, he might be better than Paul George. I don't think so. You could debate that a lot easier than definitely not better than KD.
Definitely.
And now not more than James Harden. I don't think.
Yeah.
So.
And there's Russ lovers out there, but I think they'd even tell you that he's just right.
People love his
motor.
Yeah, his motor and his personality, his spirit.
Yeah.
He wants to play. He's the guy who will run 94 feet every single possession. He doesn't stop.
Yeah, which you can't hate on.
No, it's great. That's great for any team. Somebody said this one was so dumb. Just Sixers fans.
Oh, earmuffs.
Yeah, Sixers wanted to get Russell Westbrook. Oh, yeah, Ben.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook.
What are they off their tip?
I mean, I wouldn't think it would work because that's still like a lack of shooting as a guard. I'm not even trying to like dignify this as a real rumor because it's not. And he doesn't like Embiid, so I don't think he would want to play here.
You truly think you don't like Embiid? You think he wouldn't wash that?
I think he's a little more I think he wouldn't get over it as quickly.
Why? Because he's in his feelings?
Yeah, from what happened last year, only in March. It is July.
Yeah.
And then your guy who beat our team when he said that shit is gone?
Yeah, true.
I mean...
Ross is in his feelings often.
Well, they all are, but it's just that's what I take. I don't know how real that is. That's just one reason I can definitely latch onto that thing. So I don't think they're going to do it anyway. Too much money. The Sixers have literally like a few $1 million to spend, not even. And it's like $2 million because they can only sign vet mints.
When are they going to give Ben the extension? Because it didn't end up going through, right? They never agreed on it.
They never... Oh, I don't know.
That scares me, by the way. I don't want to get into it.
It's July.
But, bro, people get offered a contract. You hear about it 10 seconds before, and 10 seconds later, he accepted the contract, you know? Like
the thing that came out afterwards was that they're going over it. The agency and the team is going over the contract.
How hard is it for Rich Paul to look at it?
I don't know.
Bro.
You dealt with more legalese than I have.
But Rich Paul is...
He works fast, probably.
He's trying to plot. He's always plotting. And guess who's plotting for Rich Paul?
LeBron?
Bron.
That's tampering.
He don't give a shit.
What
are they going to say to Bron?
Yo, we had this conversation. Do you believe with tampering they really care about it?
To a certain level, I think from a GM perspective, you can't. Like, that's ridiculous for people to tamper with players. But somebody like Bron is a player. I think you should be able to say to like a guy like, yo, I'd love you on my squad. Like, that's from a player.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about actively, yo, do this and this and ask for this, so they don't want to. And then,
Rich Paul shit.
I mean, LeBron can still say that. It's fine. LeBron can still say that. He can be like, ask for these things because they're astronomical demands to them, and they're not going to want to give you and be like, yo, I'll go elsewhere, trade me.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably that easy now to get traded as a superstar type player or on the cusp of it, because Ben Simmons isn't a superstar.
Pretty darn close, and people understand his potential. So that's
I gave him the credit. I said close to it.
Yeah.
I made sure I said it.
Yeah, I'm with you. But the idea is, I saw on Instagram today, I'm looking, I see a picture with Bron, Rich Paul, AD, Ben Simmons, and Farrah. Farrah Leaf is her name, or Farrah Leaf, whatever. And she wrote family on it. Damn, Rich Paul always on that shit. Like, you really got to tell me that? This LA... Ben Simmons is in LA right now working out, we know that. He's with Bron, he's with AD, hanging out, you know. That sends a message to me. I hate to see it, and Ben's taking his time right now.
Now, the thing is, we lived in the social media age. So, what if they were hanging out and they didn't have phones or they didn't take any pictures or post anything? Nobody knew nothing, but they were still hanging out. It holds little weight, I think.
But is it in the media's face? Is it looked that way, or it's just the other family? Nah, come on, let's go. Media's taking that and running with it somehow.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm by no means media, but
no, fans and everyone somebody posted it and everybody else runs with it.
Yeah, like if I went to go look at those messages, it'd be like, oh, he's going to the Lakers, you know, like it's just it's a no-brainer. Sometimes you would like. Do you ever, Matt? By the way, do you ever like look at? Before you look at comments, do you expect what people are going to say and then look after? Like, oh, he's going to say this?
So, I had to stop again because during the pod, we saw that something incredibly huge has happened for the league. And I think we might have unlocked a Russell Westbrook trade by talking about it so much. But we didn't say the Houston Rockets one time. But Russell Westbrook has been traded to the Houston Rockets for Chris Paul and multiple picks. How do you feel?
Tax season, boy.
Yeah, because Russell Westbrook has 4 years of his Supermax left, which he spoke about immensely.
Supermax.
The Super. And Chris Paul has one left of his 4 year, like 160, where he's making $40 million. I believe that, I mean, we didn't see the details of the trade, so basing off of what we saw or what we read, which was the ticker of SportsCenter, multiple picks, and Russell Westbrook Chris Paul and multiple picks. Again, is good for the Thunder, prioritizing the pick.
Much is due because they wanted to separate Chris Paul and Russ in Harden, obviously, and it makes sense that Harden gets somebody that he's known to play with and perform well with. So I think it was more of a shoe-in. Obviously, we were just talking about different teams. We sometimes don't even think about playing with Harden and making that sub move. But Daryl Morey, shout out to you for making that move. Presti also making the most out of the situation. So it worked for both sides, especially with the trouble that both GMs had.
They both made the best out of it. Clearly, the Rockets, specifically Daryl Morey, doesn't care that much about the Rockets' future. They only care about until when James Harden and Russell Westbrook's contracts are up, which is still going to be hard to do because we didn't see the details, so obviously more details will be coming out throughout the rest of the night and tomorrow and probably the next day just because it's such a big deal and they got to all the statisticians and money guys have to do that and then they'll have it reported. They're still like kind of hamstricken with money, I believe, because Russell Westbrook's contract is not friendly.
It's not friendly, but in terms of a teammate, people do like him. Yeah, he might not be like the greatest performer, but people have love for Russell Westbrook, and I think Harden does, and that'll work for both of them. Chris Paul didn't work. Chris Paul hasn't worked on several teams. I think Presti's just going to bite that bullet and just understand that Chris Paul isn't here to win. He's here to just, we're going to load up on picks, be very mediocre, and build for the future. And hopefully Chris Paul might be there to ride out. Probably not. He probably won't ride out his career there because he don't want to stay in Oklahoma City. He's been in some decent spots in the past. But they're going to force his hand a little bit to do something. I mean, he's going to be around a bunch of young talent. So he's going to have to try to be a proven vet and help people out. He's the NBA what? He runs the friggin' NBA Players Association. He's got to do something solid by them.
I think Chris Paul is going to salvage in being one of the only veterans in the room because that's a knock of why Chris Paul was untradeable as well a little bit because that was a question before who he could play with. Blake Griffin, it wasn't great. James Harden, it was until now. And obviously he's not here anymore. Or he's not in Houston anymore. But it worked. So now he gets to be Chris Paul, the big dog, in Oklahoma City, chilling. And hopefully he is nice enough to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Try to build him up.
Yeah, I feel like he will be. I mean, he's a professional. I think it might be just with other alphas. Other guys that think they're the man first is just who you clash heads with if you're an alpha. That's the big thing. I mean, it's a pretty cool move. I mean, just switching, bringing a reunion back after the other guy that they played with, KD, went to the East. So, like, it's like a reunion of the lesser two, but it's still cool.
Yeah.
It's a fun thing for the league. I mean, I love the NBA. It's great. It's not unpredictable. It's just very fun. The reason I was saying it's reality show-like is why I don't like it, but this is also part of it. Like, they're back together again, like I said multiple times. So, I mean, I'm sure the people in Houston are excited.
Yeah, it can't hurt them. Those picks that they gave away are probably late first-rounders anyway. Let's be real. Come on, Houston's going to be good.
Yeah, Houston doesn't – I haven't known them to draft too well. So, I can't tell you who they drafted recently. Damn, that whole thing threw off the whole show. Russell Westbrook, who would have thunk it? Let's stay out west.
A Russell Houston jersey will be hot. Not going to lie. Westbrook jersey will be hot.
That's what you're thinking? So you're going to get one?
I know John is. I know John don't bang with Westbrook, but he likes like a squad like that, and he'll hop on a wave.
Yeah, I could. I don't know if I can see it because I don't know as much as you do, but I could certainly see people doing it who aren't as like who I don't know just doing because they are Russell Westbrook fans. Like he's a stan.
Like a Browns Odell. Like that's how John is like with that type of love. I mean.
Oh, he likes the player like that. That's what I'm saying. A stan. He really likes.
I don't know if he likes Russell like that, but I think he'll do it because going to Houston's hot. I think it's fresh. You know what I'm saying?
It's just a good look.
Yeah.
All right.
Oklahoma City bum shit.
Their jerseys are nice. Couple of them aren't, but.
They're not gonna be branded with Oklahoma City. It takes like 3 planes to get there, homie. Get the hell out of here.
What else? What does that really? How much does that shake up the competitive balance of the Western Conference?
There's still a clear top two, and then it's everybody else. There's a second tier of people, and they fall in that second tier with the likes of Portland and Denver. I would have to be respectful about. I don't really love Denver, so I just have to say, because I know people be like, oh, Denver was a top 2 seed. Well, I'm not really a Denver guy, but whatever. I'll give them the solid. And the Warriors are in that second tier now. That's just the truth.
So the top tier is the 2 LA teams.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. Denver, no love. I like Denver. I like Denver a lot. I don't know how you couldn't like Denver. What, like, they're deep. Obviously, it doesn't matter as further you go into the playoffs. But they have a guy that we've never seen before. I know they say that about a bunch of guys in the league now. But Jokic is truly different. And I'm sure they say that too. But he is. They have multiple guards and wings. They're built very well. Good coach. Good organization. Like, they played well enough for last year for a reason. I think it was just experience.
Nothing's going to heighten their game, though. What did they do to, like, don't tell me MPJ's going to come back and do anything. Because when LeBron, Goat James is going to walk out on the court and say, little boy Michael Porter, you thought you were Kevin Durant, but you're more like a friggin' Semi Ojeleye, and we'll see. Oh, I shouldn't have hated on Semi Ojeleye. We're about to pick him up. We're going to pick him up. That's my bet. Watch.
Okay.
He just got dropped today. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see that.
On that wave, homie. He's going to hit some 3-pointers.
All right. Damn. 2 LA teams. No, I like Denver. It's really hard. They got Jeremy Grant, which I know, like, none of their players are like, dude, they're going to win. It's just like they're a team. If people are bitching about having super teams and you want a team, the Denver Nuggets are one of the true teams in the league. You barely know their second star. A lot of people don't. I feel like they won't refer Jamal Murray. I don't know. That's just my feeling. Unlike the LA teams, it's very easy to name the 4 guys that are over there.
Yeah, very clear.
So they're going to be tough, man. And I'm not even counting on Michael Porter Jr.
You just think they're going to get better because of Grant? But, like, what are you going to do now? You even have a tougher West this year than you did last year. The Warriors are not going to be the clear one, but that don't matter because you have 2 LA squads that are competing for the top 3 seed, for, like, the top 3. Because, you know, those 2 guys, if they do it right, they're preserving both bodies, both Bron and Kawhi's bodies, and they're not playing all 82. So all they care about is getting top 3. If the likes of Denver or Portland get the 1, they don't even give a shit, homie, because they'll go run through that city, that second-class city, and go bum it up.
Yeah, that's not fun, though. Man, like, how isn't the 1 seed, like, the favorite? You understand what I'm trying to say? Because, I mean, it just makes sense. That's how it's always been.
Were the Bucks the favorite? Were the Bucks the favorite?
Against most teams, yeah.
That's fair.
But like, they were.
When they saw Toronto, though, what was it?
They choked the last 4 games. Well, they didn't choke all 4 of them. They choked a couple. But not winning a game if they're winning the first 2 on their home court is very young teamish of them in the conference finals, which is like, if I'm a Bucks fan, I'm speaking as one right now, air quotes, I would give them a pass. You haven't been in the conference finals since when? Shut up. Like, like, that's how I feel. You should be a little more grateful that your 24-year-old superstar just won his first MVP and everybody came back. Like,
Brogdon.
Well, you're right, Brogdon. Forgot about him, but that was a sign and trade. You got something for him. And your organization does draft well. You got picks for him. You drafted your MVP. So, how did we get on the Bucks? We landed here. Since you mentioned the Lakers so many times, they filled out the rest of their roster, finally. You want to hear the names that they signed?
Let's hear them.
Okay, they got DeMarcus Cousins, veteran minimum. Danny Green, 2 years, $30 million. Jared Dudley, veteran minimum. Alex Caruso, 2 years, $5.5 million. Rondo, 2-year veteran minimum. Quinn Cook, 2 years, $6 million. KCP, 2 years, $16 million. JaVale McGee, 2 years, $8.2 million. So they got basically every single person they had on the team last year outside of, well, not really. It's actually half. Quinn Cook, Jared Dudley, Danny Green, Boogie are all additions. New additions. How do you like it?
There's one name that drives me nuts because it's a player we should have got. Quinn Cook should be our backup point guard for that little bit of money that he got. We could have afforded that. Could we not have? Are you kidding me?
No.
Before we made certain moves, you're telling me what we wouldn't address up the backup point guard spot?
The moves they made before addressing the backup point guard spot is what allowed them to not have the space. So re-signing Tobias Harris, signing Al Horford, and then signing trading for Jimmy Butler, for Josh Richardson. Even though it's not a big contract, the first two are a lot more. So then by the time's end, the Sixers only had 1-year deals or two ways and like veteran minimum contracts. And I'm not even saying that because I knew that firsthand. I knew that as it like the narrative, like it was said more, and Matt told me. Yeah, he knows. I believe him. So, but as we were referring to the Sixers, the Lakers, it's a good team. It's just like the way people talk about it after Kuzma, it's like, it's not laughable. It's just like you're getting hype because it's the Lakers and they're like going to be back again.
But you respect Danny Green.
Of course I respect Danny Green. I'm talking about like the overall like hype around the team that they are a finals team. It's probably one of the better bronze potential final teams he had. It was just like out there, especially against the other team in LA who I think have a better 8 than you. And that's what matters in the playoffs. They have a better 8 than you. I don't think it's as easy or like they shouldn't be the favorite. I don't think they are anymore.
I don't think they should be the favorite either, but you can't sleep on the king. Tilly retires. LeBron's still going to be up there. He could take over a game like nobody else. Kawhi could take over a game, but LeBron will overshadow Kawhi. I don't care what anybody says still. They can at me. They could talk about it with me. I'm still with the case that LeBron impacts the game on a whole different level.
Yeah, because, it's just the way their games are. They literally play differently. Like, LeBron is scoring as well as when he's scoring, he'll find the, really good pass that he found himself in this situation, falling, making a cross-court pass for an open three or whatever, or cut. Kawhi doesn't do that. He makes the right basketball play. LeBron will make the right basketball play in, spectacular fashion or just a very tough play to facilitate more than Kawhi would. But today, if you polled a bunch of people, I think they would say Kawhi is the best player in the league today.
It's called amnesia. LeBron will remind them. I don't care.
It's called amnesia. It's not like I understand, yeah, but it's not like the apple. The 1, 2, and 3 apples of best players fall too far from each other. They're all literally right there. Even KD's hurt, he's still 3. He's in the top 3 when he gets healthy. So those 3 are also close. I think the Lakers will be fine though. To be honest, as much as I just don't like the hype. I just don't like hype.
Well, you're always gonna get hype, especially out in LA. But LeBron is LeBron, and he could take over a game and a series like nobody else.
Yeah, that is 100% true.
Which is obviously what matters in the playoffs, clearly.
That is what matters in the playoffs. Damn, the Russell Westbrook thing really
got you shook.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Just because it's interesting. It's a fun NBA summer because it's been dominated by free agency and trades, and even the summer league. I see it every day. Well, obviously because I pay attention, but every single day there's games on, and might as well talk about some of the games from our guys. Yeah, the Sixers. They're 1-3. Doesn't really matter. I wanted to see them go to the tournament just because I want more Sixers basketball as possible. But it's cool to see that one of our guys is making head wave or waves amongst us fans and the other leagues fans and just people in Zaire Smith.
In transition, that man can get up and run. We've seen countless alley-oops, or I even like the lob alley-oop layup. Did you see that one? The alley-oop layup was fucking.
That was
That was clean.
Yeah, he played the ball right. Because the defender was too close, so he had to realize he had to come down with the ball enough to put it back up. I was like, that was a lot of, that's very that's instinct basically, but he's done. Of course, that'll get him noticed. The dunks, and he's hitting like the hard back cuts. He's getting open, and he's rising before the other guys. I like what he's doing. He showed a little bit of improved handle and shot making. He looks bigger. He looks like he's ready to play. Like we finally got a 20-year-old, the Sixers, that is ready to play. Like all these new 20-year-olds or 19-year-olds, everybody coming in the league ready. We got one.
We did have one in Landry Shamet. Oh, no, was he like 22?
Yeah.
Ah, damn. But in terms of...
Ben Simmons would have been ready to play.
But yeah, that's fair. He's different. He's a whole different class. But Zaire does look athletic, which we knew he was already athletic, but obviously the allergy really hindered him last year. But we saw him, playing the passing lanes really well. He's, from a sizing matchup standpoint, he's kind of in a weird position where he's a little undersized to cover the small forward, but he can. So he's a guy that's going to be, tackling those passing lanes. And we saw him go the other way with the ball real fast. Him and Matisse both did it really well.
Yeah, those are the dynamic. That's the dynamic duo of our bench. I think it's really cool that we have two rookies that are like the leaders of the bench. In my mind, the leaders of our bench mob. Like they're going to be the most fun, lovable players to watch for the Sixers this year on the bench. I don't. Who else would?
Mouth out, Mike Scott, boy.
I love Mike Scott, but it's like I never seen them play in NBA action, and they just bring something. I know Mike Scott goes with the identity. I absolutely do love Mike Scott. It's just I'm more excited to see the 22-year-old and 20-year-old play. When I like Mike Scott, he can probably just improve on shooting and maybe build more muscle or whatever. I don't know what he could do. He's where he is.
Probably at his point, yeah. I got no problem with that.
So that's why I'm anticipating it because it's gonna Mike Scott helps Ben's game out more, but I think those two will help. Like he'll be on the floor with them too.
Are those two going to be on the floor at the same time together? You think?
Yeah. What do you mean? I think so.
They're going to throw them right into the Wolves and say, hey, open up our second quarter, Zaire and Matisse.
Maybe on certain nights. I'm not saying October.
Do you feel good that we have guys to plug in some minutes and feel decent about? No two-way guys, no guy that needs to play 6 minutes and ain't shooting the ball. He's just going to facilitate it to our other star. They could actually make a play, if not make their own shot, but they're cutters, they're slashers. I think they're going to hit their three once every 3 times, but that's okay. Defense is where you'll see them shine. Both of them, obviously.
Yeah, it's nothing so crazy. It's just it's a different wrinkle. Like you have these guys who are defensive minded first, but they're athletic. They fit the mold of the NBA now: 6'5" long arms or 6'4" long arms, leaping ability, defend multiple positions. Like all these things you do need, and they can shoot or they're willing to learn how to shoot. I believe they both can, good enough. They're NBA shooters. They're not marksmen, right? But they're shooters. You're gonna. Once you realize they make a couple, or by the time you play them, or you're playing them, you're gonna close out on them because they're willing to shoot or willing to make a play.
And I also like the fact that we have a problem sometimes with rebounding from a guard's perspective. So you'll see these guys fly in for rebounds as well and do some putbacks. It's going to be exciting. I'm telling you, you're going to see more rebounds out of the guard play. Redick got you no boards whatsoever.
He wasn't there for that.
He's not, but these type of guards can come from the second unit and be scrappy boys. You need scrappy players when, you're putting your horse down with defense, So scrappy dudes will just, it'll bode well for everybody, and it might even be infectious,
The one real thing that I'm worried about with the Sixers is whoever the point guard is for the second unit. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know, Raul Neto? I don't know.
I don't see him playing minutes on this squad. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's whatever. He was cheap. Yeah.
He played not even more than a half a season. Half a season is 2 seasons in Utah.
I got no time for him. Richardson probably handle the ball if you need to, but I also don't want Ben Simmons playing 38 to 40 minutes a night.
Honestly, I know we were talking about Embiid, like the way they got to limit him because of Horford being there. But honestly, I think Ben Simmons is a horse and he can play those minutes and he'll be fine. Like, you know him way more than I would. He never got hurt before the foot injury, right?
He's never gotten hurt, but the problem lies with when you see Ben Simmons take himself out of a game, is it because of what? Fatigue? No, right? Or is it fatigue? I don't know. But, like, if you let this dude post up, like, relax a little bit, be able to go in the post more, because he's going to take more impact in the post because he hasn't gotten the body hits because he avoids the body contact as much as possible. He still takes a lot because he goes to the rim, but a lot of times he could finish harder, but he don't want to take that impact because that dude's playing 40 minutes a night. That's unnecessary. You're on the verge of being a superstar. Yes, you're supposed to, you're early in your career, supposed to grind and prove your point. But if you're going to be a playoff bound and, you're really hoping for the finals, you ain't playing Ben 40 minutes a night.
Somebody's going to have to. He's the most durable and the youngest to do so. That's why I think you should take on that role.
But having the players of Zaire and Matisse will say, I might give the Cats 15 minutes a night. And you might give James Ennis some stuff, Mike Scott. And those minutes end up working out for Ben, But the problem is they got no guard play, that could someone to take up the ball. So that's frustrating because I don't want to see Ben play 40 minutes a night. Actually, take that back. I want to see Ben play 40 minutes a night, but not really.
I mean, Shake Milton, I like him, but he's not a viable point guard option. At least, I know Summer League doesn't matter, but it matters right now the way I'm thinking about it. Because he was hurt one of the games, and last thing I recall, I saw this stat, he was like 6 of 33 from 3. But he was a good 3-point shooter in college. And he played a lot of years, and he was really good in the G League. So
5 points in the G League, right? Yeah. I mean, he did really well. I mean, I think he's forced it himself too much because he was so focused on playing Summer League and performing well to prove to the Sixers, hey, I'm here. I'm trying to actually make somewhat of an impact on the squad. But I think he lost what he was supposed to do. He ain't going to come in shooting the ball 8 to 12 times a game. Sorry, Shake. That's just not what he's there for.
But in Summer League, you do that. So you think he pressed for Summer League? Because he probably wanted to show out.
But he was going to make the team. By that point, he got the 4-year deal. Cost the Sixers peanuts. They saw what it was. I mean, the proof's in the pudding, dog.
That's exactly why he was one of the options for point guard. We don't have any money. Why do you think we signed Shake Milton? Yeah. That's why we signed him. Who else look good? I mean, the only other person I think could be on the roster this year for the Sixers would be Mariel Shayok. He's been only by build and kind of the way he moves compared to KD, his game. He's lanky. He gets to weird mid-range spots where he can pull up quickly. He handles the ball. He's lanky, like I said multiple times. Yeah, he's a shot maker, dude. He wants to shoot, and he can shoot it. He can let it fly. Do you know anything? Have you seen anything in Mariel Shayok?
I've seen a little bit, but is he going to be at the end of the day, a two-way player, you think?
He already is a two-way.
Oh, they already made that clear. All right, homie. Did Pell make the squad too, or he's also a two-way?
I don't think Pell's going to make the squad. I think he'll be stashed with the Blue Coats. I like Pell, though. He brings a little...
Yeah, I agree. What are you going to say? I want to hear what you're going to say.
He brings a little swag to the team, a little spunk, because he blocks somebody or it wound up being a goaltender, he stares someone down. Yeah. He chases the ball. People chase the rim or dunks. He chases blocks. I like it. He's just a rim running big, and he has some, I don't know, he looks like he's playing, and he has some character and some attitude out there. Just easy to like him.
I feel that way. I'm with that.
One more. Is that it? No. I mean, the Sixers, Summer League's cool. It's pretty overwhelming. Can't watch all the games. Just some little notes. You see what are the Charlotte Hornets doing?
What are the Charlotte Hornets doing?
They're losing to China in the Summer League. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. I actually did see that. What is up with that? No hate to China. No hate. This is a no hate pod. All right. Making that clear now. But what is that? Come on, bro. You're NBA players. You're supposed to dominate.
You're supposed to beat the Chinese Summer League team. Yo, I don't know.
I guess they're summer league guys. They're summer league Charlotte Hornets guys, which by default makes them D3 basketball players.
Yeah, I mean, but still, it's like, you've heard some of those D3 players. You never heard of the guys that play in China.
That's bad. That is bad.
So it's like, it's not a good look for the Charlotte Hornets, who are on a rebuild. Did you see that Embiid was getting in shape?
He's getting fit. Him and Anna DePaula, they're running the Great Wall of China steps. No, I'm playing. But yeah, I like to see that he's getting in shape. You know, hopefully, I want him to get a nutritionist. I don't want to see him eating Chick-fil-A burgers and 6 milkshakes anymore. Whatever the hell he was eating. It just doesn't bode well with your stomach. You can find different ways to put on mass and eat calories because he, with his body form, but I don't think the approach is the Chick-fil-A shit that could screw up his stomach. You can't have your best player missing games in the playoffs. That's what you like to say.
Oh, yeah. No, of course. Well, he has damn near a six-pack now, so I think he might be working with a nutritionist. It's good. I mean, he's wizened up enough. He listened to somebody, or he thought of it. He probably heard it too many times and then actually sat there and thought about it and said, yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I am really, really, really good, but I'd probably be really, 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 really good if I decided to take my diet seriously like one LeBron James has. So I think that's it. It's good to end on an Embiid health note, just in case you guys want to know his status. You got anything to say to the people, Don?
LeBron James. How did he get into the pod so many times? And it wasn't even supposed to be about him. He stood a king. Shannon Sharp, actually, I got to say it before we end, because I thought I was a Stack guy, and I wanted to say this. Stack usually hates on Bron. He's a lover of Bron, but when you bring him about, when he was in his days, he thought he was better than he was, and that's something me and Jed always talk about. Stack thinks he was a grown-ass man getting 20 points a game for the Spurs. No, you were not, Stack. You were not. So thank you, Shannon Sharp, for putting him in his motherfucking place.
Yeah, it was pretty cool moment. Pretty Shannon Sharpie. Yeah, pretty Sharpie. Pretty permanent. That's a bad joke. But you can follow the Outlet Pass Podcast on Twitter, pass_podcast, Instagram, the Outlet Pass Podcast, me on Twitter, and Instagram, _JD Virgilio. Go on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, the Outlet Pass Podcast. Rate, review, subscribe, rate it 5 stars. Like it, share it, repost it, follow it. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank you for listening once again. This has been the Outlet Podcast, the Outlet Pass Podcast, the ball being our opinions, and we're passing it out to you. Peace.